A chat with Glendora, a show for living right. A chat with Glendora makes your day so bright. Words of inspiration, jokes to make you smile. Come relax and chat with Glendora for a while.
Here comes Stephanie, and she's going to tell us a story.
All right. So this is a story I wrote thanks to Glendora, and she helped me with it even a little bit. So the story is called Daisy Gets a Puppy. Daisy's puppy was one of a kind, she thought. There was no dog quite like her in the entire town. No, the entire world. She smiled as the puppy laid next to her, sleeping and dreaming of running in the fields they had just gotten home from. Daisy couldn't help but pat her puppy's adorable little head. She was so soft because Mama had told her to brush the puppy every day. Daisy would do anything to make sure that her puppy was taken well care of. The only thing she needed now was a name. "How about Geraldine?" Mama asked. Daisy frowned and looked at her puppy. "No, she doesn't look like a Geraldine." She taps her chin with her finger. "Bark? You want to name her Bark?" "Well, that's what she says, isn't it?" Daisy inquired while staring up at her mother. "That is true," she said, "but all dogs bark." "Oh, I want her to have a special name because she is a special puppy." "She is a very special puppy. Now go out and play. I'll make lunch and call you both in when it is ready," Mama said with a sweet smile as she ushered Daisy and Puppy to the door. Daisy wasn't sure where to find a name. Couldn't be in town, too crowded, and lots of people had similar or even the same names. No, she needed to go somewhere special to find her puppy's name so it would fit her, not too tight like Geraldine or too loose like Bark. It had to be just right. Oh, like in one of her books. Daisy felt very proud and tried to remember if the bears in that story had any names. They did not.
They didn't?
Mama, Papa, and Baby Bear. So that was not going to work. As she walked through the field, the puppy trailing behind her, she thought again of her books. Maybe someone in one of them would know what to name her puppy. Yes, she needed to head to the place in a book and ask someone there. Excited at the prospect of finally finding a name for her puppy, she headed towards the jungle. The last book she had read had been about dinosaurs. The dinosaurs in that book lived in a jungle, so she figured that's where they lived, and that's where she would find them. Brushing past the large flowering leaf, she bravely led her puppy into the depths of the jungle. The air around her became humid, and the sounds of dinosaurs filled the silence. The puppy, never having been to a jungle before, stayed right near Daisy's heel. "It will be okay. We will find a dinosaur and your name," she said as cheer and hopefulness radiated from her. "I hope so, Daisy," said the puppy. As she turned to answer her puppy, she ran into a rather large leg. "Hello there, unscaly one," the voice of a triceratops called out. "Hello there, scaly friend," Daisy said with a smile. "I'm here looking for a name. Do you think you could help me?" "What needs naming?" the triceratops asked. "My puppy," she exclaimed. "That's me," the puppy said with a quiet bark. "Well, my name is Tyra, so you can't have that name." "That is a good name," Daisy and the puppy agree. "What about the name Thelma? It starts with the best letter of the alphabet." "I always thought D for Daisy was the best," Daisy said, looking confused. It's definitely tea, Tyra replied. Do you feel like a Thelma? Daisy asked her puppy. Not really. It was a good try, Daisy said, patting the Triceratops's leg. Tea is superior, but if you want, there's a frog that lives downstream. They might have another suggestion. Thank you, Tyra, Daisy and the puppy both exclaimed before trekking towards the small stream. Daisy and the puppy see the stream grow wider. The brilliant orange flowers surrounding them lead them to the largest part of the stream. Vibrant green moss color the rocks and the surrounding area, creating a bed of emerald. Daisy and the puppy stop to meander at the stream's edge. Frog, Daisy calls out. Mr. Francis the Frog, at your service, a voice croaks out from the stream. Oh, the puppy says, delighted. Mr. Francis, surely you could help us. We are looking for a name. You have lost one? He asks. No, says Daisy. My puppy doesn't have a name, and we already saw Tyra, the Triceratops, and she sent us to you. I usually find lost things, but maybe one of the names I found will suit your puppy. Anything would be helpful, the puppy replies. Very well. Mr. Francis hops over to Daisy and the puppy, hemming and hawing for a moment before holding up his webbed foot. Amelia? Perhaps Stella? Jane? Faye? Nell? Bernita? Daisy and the puppy listen intently as Mr. Francis lists 4 dozen names before they both shake their heads. Those are all lovely names, but they belong to someone else, don't they? Well, yes, but they lost their name, and you could give their name a nice new home, Mr. Francis said. Well, thank you very much, the puppy replies. They then go down the river a little bit more, coming to a beautiful field of flowers. Pinks and purples and blues dot the landscape as they make their way, looking and listening for the sound of someone who they could help. After a few moments, they hear the distinctive buzzing of a bumblebee. Mr. B, Mr. B, Daisy cries out as she hears him. The bee stops and buzzes closer to her. It's Mrs. Bumblebee to you, the bumblebee says. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were a girl, Daisy replies sadly. I'm very sorry. No harm done, says the bumblebee. Now what can I help you with? Do you need some assistance? Would you like to have a nice chat? Oh, yes, actually, I would, said Daisy. But first, I'd like to find out a name for my puppy. I've already seen Tyra, the Triceratops, and Mr. Francis, the frog. The bumblebee nods. They are both very helpful. Were they able to help you get a name for your puppy? Daisy shook her head no. No, they weren't able to help me, but they told me that if I go down a little further, I might be able to find someone who will. And because you fly around all over, maybe you will know a name that I could name my puppy. The bumblebee buzzed happily. Oh, yes, I think I could help you with that. My name is Beatrice. It is a pleasure to meet you. And likewise, said Daisy's puppy. As they both began to chat about names and about how Daisy had begun looking for a name for her puppy, the bee suddenly stops. Oh, I have the perfect name for her. Honey. Daisy looks at the bee and she looks at the puppy and she asks, Do you seem like a honey? And the puppy shakes its head and its tail stops wagging. No, it's a nice name though. But I don't think it's right for me. Daisy nods. Do you have any other suggestions? How about Honeycomb? Daisy was sensing a pattern. No, I don't think that's a good name for the puppy. How about, well, do you know anybody else who needs help? The bee exclaims. And Daisy looks confusedly at the bee. I'm just looking for a name for my puppy. Do you know anybody else who could help me name the puppy? Yes, but I think I could maybe come up with a better name. Daisy and the puppy look at each other excited. Yes, what do you think the name would be? And the bee simply says, bee. Daisy and the puppy start to laugh. That is not a good name for a puppy. She is not a bee. She's a puppy. Daisy and the puppy both sigh. They weren't going to get anywhere with the bee. So they decided to continue going through the meadow. As they approached the end of the meadow, Daisy and the puppy came across a cheetah. The cheetah was lying down with her cubs. Daisy and the puppy grew excited. They'd never seen cheetah cubs before. As they got closer, the cheetah cubs started to run right over to them, making Daisy and the puppy laugh. With a smile, the mama cheetah got up and meandered over towards where her cubs and Daisy and the puppy were. Ecstatic, they decided to go to the edge of the field with the cheetah cubs on their heels and the mama cheetah running right behind them. And though Daisy and the puppy ran as fast as their legs could carry them, they could not outrun the cheetahs. Hello, Mama Cheetah, Daisy said as she flopped down and decided to take a break. Yes, the puppy said. Hello, Mama, and Cheetah, and babies. And in a little chorus of voices, all the cheetah cubs said, hello, puppy, hello, human. The mama cheetah said, what are you doing all the way out here? Are you lost? No, said Daisy. No, said the puppy, but we are looking for a name. The mama cheetah looks at them both. Did you lose it? They both shake their heads. No, we already went over that with Mr. Francis the frog. Ah, Francis, the cheetah mama says. He can be a little bit eccentric, but he's very nice. They both nod in agreement. Well, what are you looking to name? Mama cheetah asks. What are you naming? Yes, what are you naming? Says the baby cheetahs. And Daisy laughs again at how excitable they are. And Daisy's puppy runs around in circles. Daisy says, I'm looking to name my puppy. She is one of a kind. The mama cheetah nods. Naming can be very hard, she says. Just look at how many cheetah cubs I have. And she nudges towards the 3 cheetah cubs. They all giggle, and they go, would you like to hear our names? And Mama Cheetah says, oh, but I didn't work very hard on your guys' names yet. I haven't finished them. So I've just been calling them 1, 2, and 3. Daisy and the puppy laughed again, saying, that's very silly. But what are you planning on naming them? Mama Cheetah spoke up, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to name them after my friends. The puppy speaks and goes, oh, what are your friends' names? And the mama cheetah says, Glendora, Pat, and Vesta. Wow, says the puppy. Those are great names. Are you going to name them anything else? And the mama cheetah shook her head. No, they only need one name. Just like your friend Daisy, she only has one name. Daisy speaks up. I only have one name. And you only need one name, Daisy said, and the puppy and Daisy both nod in agreement. They did like only having one name. It made it so much easier to remember. And Daisy said to write. Daisy decided that she would pick up one of the cheetah cubs, the mama cheetah letting her. Hello, little one, she says. I'm number 3, says the cub. Daisy giggles. Oh, I'm sorry, 3, but which name of those do you like? The little baby cheetah thinks for a while, pawing at Daisy's arm. I think I like Glendora the best. Daisy nods. I agree. That is a very good name. But that doesn't help me with what I should name my puppy. Mama Cheetah says, what about your other friends? What are their names? Daisy and the cheetah look at each other for a moment. And then Daisy looks to the puppy, shaking her head. Well, I could name her after one of my friends, but I want her to have her own unique name. Oh, says Mama Cheetah, that makes sense. I don't see my friends very often, so it's nice to have a reminder about them. The puppy agrees. I think so, but I know Daisy sees her friends very often, just not right now, because she's out of school. Daisy nods again. Yes, but as soon as I go to school every day, I'll see them. And I don't want to have them remind me of my puppy every day when I hear their name being called. They all of them nod. And Daisy puts the baby cub back down. Well, thank you anyways, Mama Cheetah. 1, 2, and 3. Smiling happily. It was nice to meet you, says Mama Cheetah, but we have to go to lunch now. Lunch, Daisy says. Oh no, my mama might be worried about us. She turned to the puppy. The puppy, looking at her, gasps. Oh no, what if she thinks we got lost? Daisy says, oh, well, we have traveled very far from home. We went to the jungle, we went to a stream, a meadow, and the savannah. I think we should make a trek back home and see what's for lunch. Let's see. Daisy and her puppy start to make their way back to Mama. As they were crossing the field back towards Mama, they saw in the distance ice and snow. Daisy's puppy had never seen snow before. Giving her big puppy dog eyes, she looked up to Daisy. Please, can we make a stop there first? I've never seen that. Daisy sighs, remembering how fun it is to build a snowman and throw snowballs and play in the snow. She nods. All right, let's go there really quick before we go back home. As they make their way towards the wintry mix, they both start to shiver and shake. They weren't prepared for this kind of weather. As they approached the edge of the savannah and into the winter biome, they saw a little family of penguins, a mama penguin, a daddy penguin, and a baby penguin. Hello, penguins. Daisy's teeth clattered. The puppy was shivering. I don't know if I want to be here anymore, says the puppy. Well, we're already here, and there's a family of penguins. Maybe they can help keep us warm while we think of a name. Let's try it, says the puppy. Making their way towards the penguin family, the penguins waddle closer to them as they approach. Daisy waves hello. Penguin family, do you think we could huddle together for some warmth? The mama penguin nods. Yes, yes, holding out her flippers for them to get closer. Daisy and the puppy make their way right into the arms of the big penguins. It was so warm and toasty that after a few minutes of warming up, Daisy and the puppy look up to the penguins. Mr. and Mrs. Penguin, Daisy says cautiously, we're trying to find a name for my puppy. And she holds up her puppy. Yes, we've been looking all day, the puppy barks. And I've never seen snow, but I wanted to see it. And now I wish I didn't. Daisy laughs. Yes, but we're here now. And we thought we might ask you if you had any idea of what to name a puppy. The Mama and Papa Penguin both look at each other, and they think, and they think. And suddenly, the baby penguin pipes up.
11 o'clock a.m.
Let's see.
78.3 degrees Fahrenheit.
Sorry, I lost my place. The baby penguin pipes up. Oh, where did it go? What about I don't like snow? The Mama and Papa Penguin both shake their heads, making some noise. No, you can't call somebody that. Oh, says Baby Penguin, but she doesn't like the snow. That is true, says the puppy, but that's an awfully long name. Don't you think? I don't like the snow is an awfully long name. The baby penguin thinks, and it thinks, and then it decides, yes, that is a very long name. But there are longer names. You could have Daisy and the puppy both agree with the baby penguin. We were thinking of something a little shorter and easier for people to remember. I know I sound kind of picky, but I want my puppy's name to be perfect. The Mama and the Papa Penguin both nod in agreement. It's hard choosing a name. For example, Bartholomew, our penguin baby, it took us almost a half year to figure out his name. Bartholomew, says the puppy. Do you even like that name, Bartholomew? Bartholomew nods. I like it just fine. I think it suits me. Daisy and the puppy both look at each other. They weren't sure if they would ever find a name at this rate. Well, I can't use that name, says the puppy. You already have it. And if it fits you perfectly, I can't take it. Daisy thinks for a moment. What else? What other advice could you give us, Mama Penguin, Papa Penguin? The Mama and Papa Penguin think, and they think, before they pause and say, what are you named after? Daisy stopped. She couldn't remember who she was named after. And then the puppy pipes up. Well, a daisy is a flower. Daisy nods. But I don't know if I was named after a flower or a person. Deciding that when she gets back home, Daisy is going to ask Mama what or who she's named after. As they stood there, it seemed to be getting colder by the second. As they stood there, thinking and thinking, the puppy said to Daisy, I'd like to go home now. Maybe we can find a name another day. Looking down at her puppy, she picks her up and gives her a little kiss on the nose and says, we'll find you a name today, but maybe we just need lunch. Mama always says you have to have brain food. I don't know what that is, but we have to have it. The puppy wags her tail. Yes, let's go home and have something to eat. I'm sure lunch is done by now. They say goodbye to the penguins, and as they're running home, trying to get back as fast as their little legs can carry them, they see in the sky an eagle. He swoops down, doing a beautiful loop and loop. And the eagle swooped down next to them, flying right beside them. Its wingspan taking up most of Daisy if she had held her arms out. The the eagle would have been even bigger than she was. "Hello, Eagle," Daisy says as they run, half out of breath, half excited to talk to someone again. "Hello," says the eagle. "I saw that you've been running around a lot. First you went to the jungle to speak with the Triceratops, the frog in the stream, the cheetahs in the savannah, and into the winter to speak with the penguin family. Now what exactly are you doing, Daisy?" Almost stopping in her tracks, she looks towards the eagle. "Well, I'm looking for a name for my puppy." The eagle says, "What puppy?" Daisy looks around, stopping. She had lost her puppy, and she had been running so fast. She cried out, "Puppy, puppy, where are you?" And just when she had given up and thought she'd never see the little puppy again, the puppy comes bounding over to her, nearly knocking her over. "Oh, I thought I had lost you," Daisy said. The puppy gives her kisses all over her face. "You would never lose me, Daisy." Daisy decides at that moment, maybe your name doesn't matter as much, as long as she loves the puppy, as long as she loves and is loved. And as she realizes that, it dawns on her, what if I named you Love? The puppy thinks for a minute. "Is that a little strange, Daisy?" Daisy nods. "It might be, but we could work on it." The puppy says, "I'm still hungry. Maybe we should go home." Scooping up the puppy, Daisy and the eagle begin their trek once more. They make it all the way back home, where Mama is calling Daisy. It's lunchtime. Daisy and the puppy are panting, out of breath. They just ran through the jungle, through the savannah, through a stream, through the Arctic, and they were tired as they approached Mama. She smiled at them and goes, "I made your favorite macaroni and cheese and apple pie for dessert. Later, of course." Daisy nods, and they both have their lunch. Daisy thinks very hard about everything she had gone through today. And she looks to her Mama, says, "Mama, I've been so many places today. I went to the Arctic, I went to the savannah, I went through the jungle, through a river, and I still don't know what to name my puppy." Mama just smiles at her and goes, "Daisy, I know you want to name your puppy, but that's okay if you don't have a name right away." Daisy stamps her foot, but she needs a name now. "Oh," she says, remembering earlier. She looks to the puppy, who was on the floor eating her own lunch, and asks, "Mama, whom am I named after?" And Mama looks at her. "Why, when I found out I was pregnant with you, I had this lovely bunch of daisies from your father, and I thought, what better way to remember that moment to name you Daisy." And Mama suddenly realized, and Mama said, realizing that Daisy was a flower, and you had your first Mama says, realizing that Daisy was a flower, and when you first had your puppy, was there a flower around that you remember seeing? Daisy thinks for a long moment, and she goes, "Mama, I don't know what they're called." And Mama laughs. "Well, maybe you can explain it or draw it for me." Daisy thinks again, and she goes, "Yes, I will." She scrambles to go get a pen and paper, eager to draw the flower that she had seen when she found out she was getting the puppy. Drawing the flower, Daisy showed it to her Mama. Mama said, "Oh, Daisy, that's a lily." And Daisy's eyes lit up, and the puppy's head shot up. Lily, I think that's a good name. Mama agrees. The puppy comes teetering over towards her at the sound of the name, Lily, wagging her tail. Oh, Mama, I think we found the perfect name for her. And Mama smiles at her and pats her on the head, giving Lily a scratch behind the ears. Oh, sweetie, you always knew what you were going to name her. You just had to find out first. Daisy looks at her mom very incredulously, and she says, Mama, no. We went on a very big adventure today, and I know what names I wasn't going to use. Mama nods. I see. So are you going to name the puppy Lily or not? Daisy does not have to think very hard for this. And she says, yes, I think Lily fits her just perfectly. It is a good name that I will always remember, and I will always have Lilies around, and Lily will always be around. Mama nods, giving her a hug. That's true, sweetheart. Lily will always be around, and she will always be your friend. And she now has a name just like you. The end.